Hello everyone, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome along now. Part 29 of the build of this beautiful Ferrari 330 P4 from DeAgostini. And this is pack 34, and I'm not sure if we're going to do 34 and 35 in this video. We shall see how we get on. There's quite a lot to do in each part of this. It's a very interesting, very involved build. It's probably the best part work I've ever seen. I don't have that much experience of them, but it's certainly a very good looking little model. I mean, we'll see the chassis and everything in a minute. So, Cinetti, the North American racing team. By the way, if you want to get this model, in the description below there's a link. Click on that link, go and have a look, go and read about it, go and buy yourself one, build along with me. It looks very nice. So, Luigi Cinetti, he started this North American racing team, and he was using a Ferrari 166. You can see him there. And here we go, there they are. There's John Surtees at the wheel of the Ferrari 158 in the white and blue colours of the American team. And then 348 TB, a successful Berlinetta. In 1989, the Ferrari 348 TBTS was the finest of this family of rear-mounted V8 powered Berlinettas, which had enjoyed great success up to that point. Personally, I don't like them at all. Never liked the look of those at all. Yeah, doesn't really matter what I think, but yeah. And you can see here, there's the oh, what was that one called? The Mondial. That's right. That was the black sheep of the family, I believe. Certainly, when I was a youngster, that was the most undesirable Ferrari of them all. I'm sure they're very desirable now, but when they were sort of, when they were fairly newish, second-hand, they were, and the Dino was the same, and now the Dino is worth a fortune. I don't mean the old V6 Dino, I mean the V8 Dino, the 308. So there's the 308 GTB, I don't know whether they've got those in there. And then we're back to, there's the Mondial, there's the 348, and there's another 348 now. So, onto the build, which is far more interesting than the magazine. This is pack 34. So we can cut this bag open, just like so. We've got a nice plastic tray with some lots and lots of screws. That's interesting. Okay, and then we've got our plastic tray with all our parts in, so we can get this open and then get this in the recycling. Okay, so that can go over there. Right, so we've got a tray of parts. I'm going to tip them out on the bench here, and then that goes over there. We've got another little bag there with a hose in it. So we're just going to check we've got everything. First of all, we're going to get the light on because we finished with the magazine. We're going to get this laid out. So there we go. There's that. What have we got here? A little black piece. Yep, there it is there. And then we've got this wishbone mounting here. We've got another wishbone here. Strut top, shock absorber, brake caliper faces here. And then we've got this little T-piece here. And then we've got that pipe, which can come out of this little bag. Beautifully packaged. Not great for the environment, but beautiful for keeping the model nice and safe. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of screws. Yes, we do. So that's good. Right, here we go. And they're all M1.7, those screws. So what we're doing here, fix the left front suspension, upper suspension arm 34F. 34F. To the frame reinforcement with suspension mount 34E with an ADM screw as shown in photo A. So that is going like that. This is going like that, and that's going to go in there like that, and then we're going to get an ADM screw. ADM screw. Make sure we don't get these mixed up. I've got my tap wrench at the ready. We've got a spare one there, so we'll put that one back in the bag. Go on, back in the bloody bag. Oh dear. Let's put that with that like that, right. So screw is going to go onto there, and we are going to put that screw in there. As I say, I've got my tap wrench ready just in case, but if any of these are really tight, then we'll tap the threads, but if they're not tight, I'm not going to bother, because up to now I don't think I need to tap any. It's not like with the pocket kits. I think tapping is essential. So we need that to be able to move, but we don't want it sloppy, so I'm just going to loosen that screw a touch. There we go. So that's that one in there. Then insert shock absorber rod 34G into the fork arm and reinforcement 34 and secure with an ARM screw. So here's an ARM screw. Make sure we don't get these mixed up. So we're going to hold that one in there and get that one out right. Okay, so we're going to put the shock absorber. Okay, so how is this going? So that's like that, and then that is going to go into there like that. And then we're going to put that screw into there like so. That's a little bit tighter, but I don't think it requires tapping. And that screw is then going to go through the shock absorber and through the wishbone and through the strengthener. Just like so. It's a long old screw, so you're going to have a long old, oh misses. And then we're going to just keep going in until it stops. Check we've got movement. Yeah, it's a little bit tight, so we're going to slacken that off just a touch. There we are. There we go. So that's that done. Okay, retrieve the chassis. So we've got the chassis here. So we're going to get these magazines out of the way. Going to get our beautiful chassis out here. And beautiful it is. Look at that space frame. Isn't it just absolutely gorgeous? I'm going to move all this out of the way now because we've done all the checks and checked it's all okay. Okay, so retrieve the chassis assembled in the previous stage. Attach the spring to the left front shock absorber. Just like that. Assemble arm 34F and reinforcement 34 on the chassis, inserting shock absorber rod 34G into the spring and shock absorber body. Secure the reinforcement to the chassis using 3 BM screws, photo B. So we've got 3 BM screws. So we're going to screw this to the chassis. Okay, so it's going to go in the ends. So that shock absorber body is going to go in there. We're going to get that tube out of the way. And then this is going to go down. Wow, this is going to be quite tricky, I think. That's got to go down. Yeah, and those ends have got to go sit in there. So that's going to sit in that recess. That's got to go down. Doesn't want to go down. I don't know why, but it doesn't want to go. Maybe the shock absorber pin is not aligned. There we go. Right. So we've got to make sure these two tubes here sit on top of the space frame. And then it just falls into place. Look at that, it's just fallen into place on its own. I'm just trying to see here if it's lined up. So we want 3, we've got a lot of these screws, so we've got 3 of these BM screws. But we can't get any out because the bloody bag won't open. Come on! Right, so try the middle one first. Look at that, it's just fallen into place. It's absolutely gorgeous, this model. It is gorgeous. In fact, I won't tighten them up. I'll put them all in first and then tighten them up in case it needs to be shifted slightly. No, it doesn't. It's just, oh, this is lovely. I'll tell you what, whoever designed, manufactured this, they have done an absolutely superb job. It really is lovely. I mean, yet you've got all these screw heads showing, which isn't ideal. But other than casting it all in one or having it all glued together, you know what I think of that. I think the screw heads, maybe it would both better to have bolts, tiny little spanners, I don't know. Probably the cost would be ridiculous for the small bolts. So make sure that's tight. And then I bet the next bit is turn it over and put 2 BM screws in from underneath. Yes, it is. So we're going to turn it over. We're going to grab 2 BM screws. If I can get 2 BM screws out, come on. Right. There we go. And we're going to put one in there. Like so. It's like building a real bloody car, this. It's welding your screw in. Depends what you'd rather do, I suppose. Would you rather be out welding or screwing, guys? And one there, yeah. I can't believe how beautifully that fits together. I can't wait to do the other side. That's really nice. You really struggle to get it in and then it just goes. It's brilliant. We've got a working suspension there, look. Look at that. I mean, I really enjoyed the Poker 917 Porsche. I wish they'd done it the same as this. But it's not the same as this, is it? Right. And complete assembly reinforcement, 2 screws in the bottom. Right, we've done that. Okay. So we're going to put this chassis to one side. Using light pressure, fit hub plate 34B onto the inner side of left front hub. So this is this one here. Dottie's dreaming. So that is going to basically push into there. I don't know if you can hear her. Take the lower fork 31F and secure it to the hub with a BM screw. So we've got a BM screw here. So we've got this piece here. That's not the... hang on. Fit the hub plate on the inner side. Take the lower fork 31F and secure it to the hub 34A. So I'm going to have to get my spares box out. These magazines are getting on my nerves now. So 31F should be in here. Yep, 31F. Where's my tweezers? Where's my bloody tweezers? Here we go. Right, so we can close that box up again. And we are going to fit it to here. And we're going to grab this screw. It's a BM screw, and the screw is going to go in from this side. Just like so. This one could have done with tapping, I think. It's quite tight. Just slacken that off a touch so everything moves. There we go. Take the lower fork and secure it to the hub with this BM screw. Likewise, secure the upper fork using a UM screw. Here is a UM screw. So we'll get one of these out. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we're going to fit this onto here. I'm guessing it goes... I'm assuming it goes that way around. You can see it's got like a notch in it. They don't tell you which way around it goes, but I'm assuming it goes that way. And then that's going to go into there. Just like so. And this is a steering joint, so we need to make sure it turns freely. The screw's just going in and in and it keeps going tight. There we go, it's in. Right. Lightly press the brake hose connector 34L onto the inner part of the brake caliper 34K. So this is inner part of the brake caliper. This is 34K. And then we've got this little connector here, 34L, and that is going to go We've got a D-shaped pin on there, we've got a D-shaped hole, so that is just going to go into there like so. Push that in just like that, and then attach inner part to the brake caliper body. So we've got the brake caliper body this way, and this is going to go this way, and that's going to push onto there like that. This is lovely. And then we're going to fit the outer part of the caliper onto the main body, just like that. 2 holes, 2 pins. Can't get any more straightforward than that. What a beautiful detailed caliper. Right, lightly press the brake. We've done that. Similarly for outer part, yes, we've done that. Place brake caliper on the brake caliper plate and secure with 2 AP screws. So we've got 3 in here, so we've got the 1 spare as we always get. So we've got 2 to come out and 1 to stay in the bag. Okay, so we're going to fit the brake caliper. Is going to go on like that by the look of it. Okay, so we get the screwdriver locked and loaded. And the caliper is going to go on there like that. And we're going to put a screw into there. Just give it a few turns. And then we'll put a screw into there. Nip that up. And then we will nip this one up. Okay. Turn the brake, take the brake caliper hose and insert into its engines the holes in 34L hose connector and the other part of the brake caliper. So this one here, we've got a long side and a short side, you can see there, obviously. So that one's going to go in. It looks like it's going to need a bit of a tweak in. Just like so. So it looks like it's going to stay on the outside of the caliper, not on the inside. Oh no, it's just going to go vertically in. So that is it there. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like the one in the magazine, because mine's sort of, you can see it's sort of splayed out on the ends. So what I'm going to do is grab a pair of pliers and push that one over like that. Blimey, this is strong wire. This is, gee, it might snap. It might even snap. If it does, I'll have to make another one. That's a bit better. We'll bend this out here so that we retain the width. Bend that in there. Just try and improve the shape, really, to make it fit and look better. There we go, that's a lot better. So that's going in there like that. There we are. I think that's the best we can hope for, really. Yeah, they've kind of, that's how they've got it on there. It's kind of a bit odd. You can see the angle of that there is that way, so it's sort of pushing it into the disc brake. But it is what it is. There we are. Okay, right. So that's that done, and we can turn this over and we're back again with the chassis. So place the left front hub inside the left front suspension arm. So put the left front hub here, we'll put the caliper to one side. Inside the left front suspension element and secure it with 2 screws. So we want 2 of these. No, we don't want all those, we only want 2. Okay, so we get our screwdriver loaded. So this is going to go into there. I don't quite get what's going on here. Okay, so that's going to go... Oh, I've done this wrong. I fitted that there. This is what happens when you're concentrating on talking to you guys rather than building the model. I've done it wrong. I've put it on there. I expect you were all screaming at the camera when I did it, no doubt. Oh, come on. You see, that is the beauty of having screwed together things. If that was super glued, it would have been a whole different story trying to move that. Right. Slacken that off a touch. There we go. So that's going to go in there like that now. Okay, so the bottom is going to go down into that hole in the bottom of the wishbone, in the bottom wishbone. And then we're going to bring the top one down. That steering arm's going in there. So we're going to attach a UM screw to here. Make sure it's all free to move. And then the same here, another UM screw going in there. That's tightened up, so I'm going to slacken that slightly so that it's free to move. There we are. Right. That one can be tightened, that one needs to be slack. Okay, so turn the chassis assembly over and secure hub 34 to the lower with a UM screw. So we're going to get another UM screw out of here. Okay, we'll put there's a spare one there. We're going to load the screwdriver, turn this assembly over, and then that arm is going to go into that hole there. And we're going to put it all together and then put a screw into there. Yeah, and if you tighten it, it locks, so we're going to slacken it off. There we go. Okay, so everything's a little bit stiff, but I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine in the end. I think that one's probably not undone enough. Yeah, it's a bit on the stiff side. Could be because of the angles everything is on. Yeah, it's the same as that Porsche was. When you have the suspension drooped, it locks up. So it's all because of the angles. So we can sort all that when we've got the wheels on and everything. The full weight of it is on. But you know, if you want to play with your mod and you want it all easy, floppy, then you can have it that way, or you can just tie it all up and have it nice and firm. Fit the brake caliper by pressing the hub through the hole in plate 34C. So what we're going to do is fit it that way round, and then we've got two holes on here, and that is literally going to just push onto there and line it with those pins and push on. There we go, job done. Right, that's that. So we have done the left front suspension. Now I think pack 35 is basically a repeat. Yes, it is. So what I'm going to do is put this to one side, put this magazine to one side, and we'll get pack 35 and we'll have a look. Where have I got two BM screws here? Have I missed one out? Where's that 34 magazine? Back in a sec. Okay, I've just checked in here and you can see BM screws, two spare, so that's okay. So we've got all our spare screws there. Okay, that one was just an empty bag with that pipe, wasn't it? So we've got the ADM screw there. Need to try and keep all these in their relative bags so we know what they are, because you never know when they might be called up. Right, so we've got all those there. So we're going to have a look at pack 35. I'm going to turn the light off for the magazine, and we will have a look at pack 35. So the Ferrari for private teams 365P, Nino Vaccarella at the wheel of the Ferrari 365P, shared with Pedro Rodriguez during the 1965 24 Hours of Le Mans. There we go. Oh, we're back on the 348 again, Enchanting Beauty. Not in my opinion. It became the 355, didn't it? So it's a 3.48 cylinder, longitudinal. There's the front there. There's the gauges, just like the Abarth ones in the orange. And there we go. I never knew they were longitudinal. I always thought they were transverse. Learn something every day. Right, pack 35. So it's basically a repeat of what we've just done in 34. Go away, screwdriver. But everything is the other way round. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go on and do this. And then what I'll do, I'll come back if there's anything of note. And if there isn't, I'll just come back and show you how it looks, because you've just seen me do it on the left. Now you're going to see me do, well, now we're going to do it on the right. Okay, back in a bit. And there we go. That's that all done. So you can see we've got the left, we've now got the right, and all gone together beautifully. Steering's a bit stiff. In fact, it's very stiff. But I'm going to leave it until the wheels are on and everything, and then we can make sure that we get the get it right, and because I'd rather not have it all flopping about loose while we're building it. The other thing that keeps happening is this tube here keeps coming off of this master cylinder, so I've actually super glued it on now, so it just goes to nowhere. It's just a 300mm length of hose. Hopefully we'll have all those connected up soon. I'm guessing that at least one of these is going to go to these front brakes, or it's going to go to a T-piece. There we go. That's going to be the front brakes. So that one, that pipe there is going to go to that caliper, and that pipe there is going to go to that one. So that's going to be coming along soon. So there we are. So that's been part 29, packs 34 and 35. And as you can see now, we have a beautiful looking model, which is really, really nice. There we go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon for part 30. Bye for now.